Thames Water is to introduce a hosepipe ban across 4 counties. Let's have a read into this more from Sky News, you guys. So the temporary use ban in areas with a postcode starting with OXGLSN and RG4, RG8 and RG9 will come into operation at 1 minute past midnight on Tuesday the 22nd of July. Just a reminder, guys, if you can hit that like and share button, it will be and share across social media. It'll be greatly appreciated. So Thames Water are introducing a hosepipe ban across 4 different counties. Now it says in the article, and we'll get to and we'll come to those points as well, is that it's only applying to certain areas. It's not applying to specific businesses, and obviously areas like London and certain businesses who rely on the hose pumps are not going to be deeply affected with this. So what is this? What is this ban intentional for? So it's basically for people's households who don't necessarily. Basically, during this summer, during a period here where people who used hose pipes to basically water their gardens and whatnot, and people do have some pretty fancy gardens and whatnot, certain people will basically be facing a temporary use ban. Now, obviously, this has only just come in this risk, because you can see that under the category has been under breaking. So more details will obviously be inferred. How is this going to be enforced? How will they know? Is it going to be based off how much water, excess water that is being used? In terms of water is going to start reading people. Like, how is this something that's going to be enforced? Exactly, I think it's another question as well. Now, do I personally, am I for or against the hosepipe ban? There's this temporary hosepipe ban. I think if it is absolutely necessary to do so in order to protect our reservoirs, to protect our waters, in the current situation that our water industry is finding themselves in, then yes, I do. Do I think it's fair that certain areas are having this and others are not? No, I don't think it's fair at all. I think it's ridiculous, especially as somebody who lives in London. I know obviously that there's the chances of water going down here are unlikely, but it can happen. But it's much more highly likely in rural areas, in the case because they're they're not as well looked after as they are here in the capital, for example. So in that regard, it's not fair. Absolutely not. For that. And let's be clear about why this is happening. This is happening because of companies like Thames Water, other private companies that have taken over our water industry ever since the Thatcher eras, that have put ourselves in this situation. They're the ones who did not build the infrastructure needed to build up our reservoirs, to build up the storage of water to build up storage of water. There has not been a severe lack of infrastructure that's been put into our water industry, in particular here in England and Wales, since the privatisation of the industry. And we are in this situation as a direct result of Margaret Thatcher's decision to privatise our water industry, and we find ourselves in this situation. And sooner rather than later, at some point, guys, whether we like it or not, it is going to come back into public owners' hands, because it is our water and we need to look after it. And we need to see the infrastructure and works being taken place. And the government has been very rigorous in trying to hold these private companies to account. But even though they are seemingly on the face of it, and some of the policies that they're introducing, they're looking to do that, it still would make more logical sense to nationalise it. And yes, people always keep going on about the debts that are on these companies, but the reality is we're going to be paying those debts one way or another, because these private companies are not going to clear these debts that they have accumulated themselves. We, the taxpayer, are going to cough up the money for it, whether we like it or not. It is just a case of when we are doing it, whether it is now, whether it is when the debt's higher in a month, 6 months, 12 months, a couple of years. We are going to be paying it out of our own pocket, taxpayers, one way or another. And it's a real shame. And it is a real shame that this has happened to happen, especially when we're a goddamn island surrounded by water, and yet we haven't built the infrastructure needed to make sure that we have sufficient water so that something like this was not needed. So Thames Water is introducing a hosepipe ban across Swindon, Gloucestershire, Oxfordshire, Berkshire and Wiltshire. And it comes as the Environment Agency places the Thames area into its prolonged dry weather category, meaning that there is a heightened risk of drought. A temporary use ban in areas with a postcode starting with OX, GL, SN, RG4, RG8 and RG9 will come into operation at 1 minute past midnight on Tuesday the 22nd of July. Customers living in areas affected by the ban are asked not to use hose pipes, including for cleaning cars, watering gardens or allotments, filling paddling pools or swimming pools, or cleaning windows. But where water is central to business, the ban doesn't apply. Garden centres and car washes, for example, are exempt. While the ban doesn't currently apply to London, Thames Water is asking everyone across the region it serves to be mindful of the water use. It follows the driest springs in over a century in England's warmest June on record. So Thames Water, basically, if you're not getting the information, basically Thames Water are basically saying, yeah, because of our poor work and not making sure that we are doing more to protect your water industry, we're asking you guys to tighten up on when it comes to your water. It's basically what they're saying here. Water for people in the Thames Valley. Oh, and this is at the same time your water bills are going up as well, just to add insult to injury. Water for people in the Thames Valley area is abstracted from the River Thames and is stored at Farmer Reservoir in Oxfordshire. More dry and warm weather is expected if it continues. Thames Water anticipates that reservoir levels at Farmer will continue to drop. Across the Swindon and Oxfordshire area, customers' daily demands for water have spiked to levels last seen during the 2022 drought. And data by Thames Water show customers often use up to 30% more water on hot days, namely where temperatures are above 25 degrees. Neil Muskaska, Strategic Water Resources Director at Thames Water, said this has been a challenging spring and summer with big spikes in customers' demands during very hot days, dry days, and very little rainfall to replenish local supplies in the Thames Valley. Even the continued warm, dry weather, we do not anticipate that the situation will improve anytime soon, so we have to take action now. Every drop of water comes from the environment, and we have to balance protecting this while taking out the water needed to top up reservoir levels. That is why we have made the difficult decision to implement a hosepipe ban to make sure that there is enough water for customers' essential needs and to protect rivers. While the TUB will only affect customers in certain areas, I want to thank all our customers for their understanding and for their support so far to reduce the water use. This includes turning off taps while brushing your teeth, taking shorter showers, and letting your lawn go dry. I can say that I don't have the tap on when brushing my teeth. I don't shower as long as I used to. When I do it, I do them a lot shorter as well, because I always think about our uses of water, because obviously that the longer you turn on the tap and the longer you have water, it obviously racks up as well. One of the things that me and my partner tend to do as well, in terms of water as well, is that when it's just the two of us in the house, because there's a couple of us in the members living in the family, we don't use the dishwasher. We just basically wash it up ourselves to save on costs there, as save on costs as well as the use of water there. So there's lots of things that you can do to avoid uses of water, but I'm sure a lot of you will probably be taking steps. If you want ideas and methods, simply just go on to Google or check on YouTube and just type some ideas of how to reduce usage of water to save money on your bills. There's lots of ideas and suggestions out there that can be used to help do so. So it's worth checking them out, because at the end of the day, it's not just about doing your part to protect our waters, but you're also saving yourself money as well in doing so, and that is also a good thing. Now, is it right that we're in this situation? I do blame Thames Water. I do blame these private water companies for not doing their part as well. But I also understand that the temperatures are only getting hotter, and we know it, and I know it just from being here in this room. It's very, very brutal at times. So I understand that the need to protect our waters, and we must do everything we can to do so and preserve the water that we need for things that really, really matter. But my worry is that if the infrastructure if we're not working on the infrastructure now, which we should have been working on before, things will get worse before they only get better, and the hosepipe ban will soon start getting expanded during the spring and the summer period, which is not good at all. What do you guys think? Would you guys make of this introduction from Thames Water to introduce hosepipe ban across 4 counties in certain postcode areas, and while others have not been affected? Let me know your thoughts about all of this and more down in the comment section below. If you found this video interesting and informative, hit that like, share and subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated. Do check out Rumble and Patreon for exclusive content on those platforms. And if you want to find support me in the work that I do here, click the join button down below to become a YouTube member. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.